Hey Dad Squad, and welcome to the Run With My Son show. You're watching us live, or perhaps you're watching the recording, and we here at Run With My Son are a bunch of dads who are determined not to let the headwinds of life push us off a lifelong heart-to-heart relationship with our sons. And we do that through something we call runversations. Directed conversations that you're going to have with your son while you're out and about together, one-on-one, sharing quality time out there running or being fit. So today's topic is going to be a fun one. We're going to talk about parent do's and don'ts in youth sports. There's plenty of do's and don'ts out there for children, am I right? That's what the whole industry of coaching is about. But there's not too many out there for parents. And believe it or not, dads, there are things that we are doing wrong. Every day I see it, every Saturday, and so do you. Basketball games, soccer games, you name it, on the ice, on the court. Parents are doing an awful job, and I have to raise my hand because there's several of these that I discovered that I myself do, and I want to get vulnerable about that today. You've seen them. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about that dad. The guy on the sidelines obnoxiously, loudly refuting the referees, the officials, even the coaches. Thinks he can do a better job than everybody else out there. Cheers only his son, his children, nobody else. Guys, you don't want to be that dad. And some of us, in some small ways, already are. So that's what today's topic is. We're going to find out how we can avoid being that guy from legend. Now, let me just ask you this quick favor. Maybe you personally know that dad. Maybe you've actually met him. You know who he is. He's on Facebook Friends. He's a Facebook friend of yours. By all means, go ahead and tag him in the comments so that he will get a chance to watch this show too. Or share the video. Let everybody you know hear about us so that they can come and learn these lessons also, all right? Because this is a message we really want to distribute out there because we don't want to be sitting on the sidelines and our enjoyment of the game bothered by this as well. So, by all means, tag Dad if you know him and you think he can benefit. All right, that said, let's dive on into it. And I want to thank you guys because a lot of the feedback I collected over this week is gold, and you guys are to be commended. And I'm going to be sharing all the stuff that you shared with me. And without further ado, let's dive right into it. All right, here are some subtle as well as some obvious things you want to avoid. Number one, first and foremost, safety first. And I really want to thank Rubis for reminding me of this. Personal injuries are on the rise on the field, and we need to be thinking about that. You know, a lot of us as dads have a competitive nature ourselves, and we're pushing our youngsters perhaps further than we need to. You want to make sure that they eat and hydrate. That was Alyssa who mentioned that. And after the game, between activities, make sure they have plenty of unstructured downtime. You know, there's no reason why a soccer game needs to be followed by a basketball game, needs to be followed by, piano lessons 6 days a week. Dads, let's just put the brakes on a little bit. Have some unstructured downtime. You know, our best performance comes when we get our rest, when we get some of that decompressed time. And our kids are exactly the same way. So build some of that into the schedule. All right, now our kids naturally just already want to please and impress us. That's just how we are. So we don't want to, as dads, be adding extra stress, extra pressure on them by using negative language, especially publicly, in front of other kids, in front of their adult coaches and those parents. You never want to point out, oh, why'd you do it that way? You know what? It's just not needed. Even some of the positive pressure, you know what, you can examine your own words. Are you doing it in a constructive kind of way? And are you doing it equally? Are you congratulating the achievements of everybody on the team, everybody on both teams? You know, that's the example we want to set. So make certain that you're watching the way you encourage. And this was shared to me by several people, something that I read a long time ago, and it was great being reminded by Michelle and Ben Glass and Carol Bittner that a great phrase you can roll out that's non-judgmental, it doesn't point to what he did or didn't do. A great thing you can say is simply, I love watching you play. When he hears that, he just knows that the pressure is off. He doesn't have to do great, doesn't have to do poorly. No matter what he does, he's impressing his dad. He just loves to watch me play. And this is what their little hearts want to hear. So remember that one and use that one. It's a great all-around catch-all kind of a phrase. Secondly, probably the most popular thing I heard this week is to let the coaches coach. That's their job. That's what they're best at. That's what they've volunteered to step up there to do. They don't need us second-guessing them. Even when, they get a few things wrong. And maybe you watched the Patriots game last night and maybe you felt like some of those calls weren't correct. If you were on the sidelines yelling at the coaches, you're not adding, you're not helping at all. And it's showing disrespect. It's teaching our young ones at an impressionable age the wrong lesson. So let them coach. And, your job is to be the biggest cheerleader for your son. Let him know that you support him no matter what. And, maybe if you want to make a better call, you should volunteer. By all means, these coaches are volunteers largely in youth sports. And when was the last time you walked up and thanked a coach? Maybe at the end of the season, that's great. But what about every single week when you see him? He's doing all the same work you are, getting himself out there, dragging, but he's usually bringing with him balls and nets and supplies, and he's learned all the kids' names, and he's out there running around. He's doing a lot of work, dads, and we need to support him with some thank yous and pats on the back. You know what? They don't need to hear our criticism. They need to hear from us that we are grateful for what they do. And you should consider volunteering yourself. It's a great way to bond with your son and others. So you already are in ways. I know you realize this, Dad Squad, but you are his consistent coach. You're the coach that doesn't change from year to year. You're there all the time, his whole life. You are his mentor. So you want to give him the off-the-field guidance that perhaps the coaches aren't, able to focus on. They're looking at the drills and the skills and the ins and outs of whatever sport it is. But the things that you can coach him on are things like sportsmanship, recognizing, that everyone's working hard and encouraging people's effort. You can teach him respect and discipline, even when it doesn't feel great to put on our shoes and go out there and play a little football today. We push through our feelings and our emotions and, whatever else might be holding us back. Those are the kinds of lessons, dads, that we can excel in teaching him. And we can teach him to be teachable. That's something that the coaches will definitely appreciate and will last him his whole life. So remember that, dads. Also, the best time to do this, dads, isn't necessarily at the game. It's that one-on-one time, that personal time that you have jealously set aside that you can spend with your son every week. Take an hour or so. Make certain that there are no distractions, no siblings, and just time for the two of you to go out and hang out. Get an ice cream, go on a bike ride, something that is just you guys. We like to do little runs. We go out and run together. And this is the perfect time during those runversations, weekly jog, whatever you're going to have, where you can talk about this sort of thing, these lessons, sportsmanship and respect and discipline. It's the perfect time, Dad. It's when your words will reach his heart, and when you mix in that added element of physical activity, it somehow unlocks something so that your words actually sink in. So we recommend it. It's great for everybody's health. It goes without saying. And I'm going to put up here on screen, if you haven't already got it, let me urge you to check out our free Couch to 5K training plan. It's going to help you, and it's specifically designed for kids. It's going to help you no matter what your fitness level together to run in a 5K road race after just a few short weeks. And this is the fall season. This is the perfect time to grab that guide and start training together. It's going to show you step by step how many minutes to run, how many minutes to rest, how many days of the week to do it. And you're going to, no matter what your fitness level is, by the end of that program, you will be ready to run in a 5K road race. You can pick it up on our website, or if you happen to be watching this on Facebook, this is a bit experimental, but right here in the comments, you can type the word training plan. I think even if you type just the word plan, I think that should work also. It should automatically be sent to you instantly. So go check that out, dads. Let me take this off the screen now so I'm not distracted. And we'll dive into another one of your roles, nurturer. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. And more than anyone else, you can help him face that and learn how to deal with the variety of emotions that are going to come. Sometimes they're feeling great, sometimes they're feeling down. And you've got to help them know that it's okay to feel different things. It's okay to feel multiple emotions at the same time. But we need to take that emotion and do something positive with it, not something negative, not to be sullen, not to say bad things to other players, or to start disrespecting, stop listening to the coach, to sit down in a huff with his arms folded. Your words are the ones that are going to nurture him through that. And you know what? We're going to also teach them, and this was a great one I got from Stuart Anderson, that sometimes losing is also a valuable lesson. Now, I don't know if you say that directly to him, but you find your words, your way of letting him know that, you know what, sometimes we lose, and that's good too, because that teaches something to us too. It teaches us resilience, teaches us how to get back up and try again. So keep that in mind and find a way to incorporate that in, and then maybe you go get an ice cream together. So find ways to nurture and solace. Dads, you can also be the mediator. Sometimes there's going to be conflicts with other players, with siblings, with even the coaches. And even if you, dads, disagree with the coach, with the official, we're going to keep that to ourselves. We're not going to get out there and become that guy. We're going to model and display for our sons what it means to be respectful, what it means to submit to officials. That's what they're there for. They're there so that we can submit to them, so that there is a final authority. Because if we start questioning them, then what's the point of having an official? And the lesson will be taught to our young ones that they can question authority in all sorts of arenas of life. So dads, we have got to, even in the times when we most heatedly disagree, we need to keep our cool and watch what we say, and teach that. That's the role of a mediator. All right. You are a fan. You want to encourage and praise him, not for the results, not for the goals that he scored or the shots that he blocked, or what his record is. That stuff's great and can get mixed in, but more than anything, you want to encourage his effort. Matt Mason, Rachel Elizabeth, they were quick to point this one out also. It's important to let him know that, man, that was a great, you worked really hard to learn how to do that. I could see that you were tired and you didn't necessarily immediately have it, but you summoned it. You found the strength to keep on running, even when everyone else was going faster than you. I appreciate and I respect how you did that. And use your own language, again, dads, but you want to encourage that effort, not necessarily the results. Also, as a fan, it is your job to be present in the moment. And I have to raise my hand. I absolutely have to confess my guilt here. I want to be open with you because I have totally blown it here many times. What is the point of carving it out of your schedule, going to get a courtside seat or whatever it is at your son's game, only to then spend the next hour with your nose buried in your smartphone? That is not giving him the support. That's not the fan that he needs to hear from. And I'm sorry for this, and I'm convicted and determined, with your help, Dad Squad, to move past that, to keep the phone in the pocket, maybe even leave it in the car, I don't know. But I want to be there for my son. And I want him to know in these times of high drama in his life that Dad's 100% focus is on him. And many of you dads have already learned this lesson, and you're going to help me in our Facebook group as we support one another to do that. And if you haven't, if you're like me, if you still need a little encouragement on that lesson, then you're going to also lean on the rest of the Dad Squad for some support in this area. But we have got to keep our eyes and focus on that game. That's why we're there. We're not there for socializing, a bit of that can be mixed in, but remember, it's not for your entertainment. This isn't a Sunday football game you're watching on the television. This is your son, okay? So we want to be there to support him. That's the whole point of our being there. All right, it was also very wisely pointed out, this was Jason Scott, that we want to cheer for your kids and their teammates. How does it feel to hear this really loud dad on the sidelines, but all he wants to talk about is Billy, 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 Billy? Okay, I'm with you. Billy's your son. I get it, and I want to applaud when Billy does well too. But by neglect, by what is not said, it kind of implies that my son Tommy maybe isn't doing so well. So let's be encouraging to everybody. It's just a great way to connect with the other adults around us. And these are parents that, the village that's going to help raise our son. So we want to be encouraging to them, to all those around us. And this is another great one, Mike Neringer, and Lord Bruce McMillan. I still got to find out, Lord Bruce, if that's your actual given name or if that's a title or nickname or what. I got to hear it. But anyway, they point out that we want to also encourage even our opponents' great plays and moves. You know, you don't have to be falling over yourself, but an occasional respectful, hey, that was a great shot. You know, just respectfully pointing that out and giving a few claps, you know, it's not going to, you know, break your team's chances. You know, it's not because I tuned out from the Patriots game last night, you know, when I got tired that they lost, even though they were up by several points. But at the time, there's no reason why you can't respectfully, you know, acknowledge when an opponent does well too. So point that out, and that's going to teach our son some respect. All right, I think I've summed it up here, but self-control, fairness, integrity. Maybe nobody, no referee or anyone else was there to see that your foot went outside the line. And if by keeping your mouth closed, you can continue to get away with whatever it was you do. We want to teach our sons integrity. Hey, you know what, Coach? Hey, I'm calling myself out here. I'm calling a foul penalty on myself. That sort of integrity is the lesson that we want him to learn. Yeah, maybe it costs a few points in today's game, but it's going to add so many immeasurable points to a lifetime of competition and integration and cooperation with the world around him. So teach him integrity and a good attitude, just overall great sportsmanship. Those are your jobs, Dad, and I want to encourage you, Dad Squad, to go take your father-son team on to victory this week. And I think we all realize that by victory, I don't mean, you know, the most points on the board. By victory, I mean that relationship. Build it and strengthen it. Get that one-on-one time. Jealously guard it. Make certain it's on both of your schedules. You can have some fun together. That's not any distraction with everybody else, so that you guys can get close and have those conversations together. And the rest of the Dad Squad, myself, are going to be here to back you up. Be sure to join us next Friday, actually every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next episode. And if you know other dads who can benefit from our little mini society here of dads who are determined to not let the headwinds of life push us off the path to a heart-to-heart, lifelong relationship with our sons, then by all means, share with them, share with him, and let him know about us as well. All right, can't wait till next week, and hope you have a great one.